Hey guys, welcome back to another Moy Style video. Today I'm gonna switch it up, and so I got Lane Adams. He's a former Major League Baseball player, and I'm gonna interview him. I kind of want to pick his brain and kind of hear about his journey through minor league, high school, and Major League. So the first thing that I wanted to ask you, so when did you get drafted? What year did you get drafted?
I got drafted in 2009 out of high school.
Okay, 2009. What high school did you go to?
I went to Red Oak High School. It's in southeast Oklahoma. Small school.
How old were you? Were you 18, 19?
I was 19 years old. I stayed back a year in junior high, and I got drafted at 19 years old.
That's awesome. Now, a lot of people, there's one thing that a lot of people want to hear. How much was the signing bonus?
I signed for $250,000 for 220, or just shy of $250,000. 225,000 was
Right.
my signing bonus.
Now, that sounds like a lot of money, which obviously it is a lot of money, but before I ask you anything else, so why would you want to sign for so much money besides, obviously, wanting to get more money, but why would you want to sign for so much money? Because what happens in the minor leagues? Like, what's the difference between signing bonus to the pay in the minor leagues?
The minor league pay, especially the lower levels, you're first starting off, your first 5-6 years under team control is not good. I think you're making, in rookie ball, they take out, you stay in a hotel, so they take out your housing, they take out the money for the food they pay you. I think 1 year in rookie ball, I was clearing I remember getting a check at one time at $212.
Oh my God.
Once 2 weeks.
So less than minimum wage?
Yeah, it was, so the more money you got on the signing bonus definitely helped kind of deviate or help, complement
Right.
those low-level minor league experiences.
And how many years did you play in the minor leagues?
Too damn many.
Yeah.
I think I played a total of 8 to 9 total years. Bits and pieces, but yeah, I think it's 9 total.
Yeah,
So
and
it was a grind.
The reason why I ask is because, 250,000, this sounds like a lot of money, but when you're only making what he just said that you're making, I mean, you can only last, so long with it. Now, when do you think you really start getting paid pretty good, like in the minor leagues?
So I got put on the 40-man roster,
Okay.
which was, I think, in 2014. I got protected after the 2013 season, so that put me at a whopping $40,000 on the year, which was a huge pay raise for me.
Big difference.
So that was after that year. After 2014 is when I started making some pretty good money playing baseball.
Okay. And so what year did you get called up?
I got called up in 14, and
That's right, yeah.
got called up in September in 2014, and I think I got a prorated deal of, I think it was 500. League minimum was 515,000. So I got a month of prorated salary of 515,000.
So do you remember how much that was?
Yeah, I did. I actually got a funny story about that.
Yeah.
So it was a travel day when we got our paycheck. We're going to Cleveland. I got my first paycheck, and it was just shy of $20,000 after tax. It was like 19.9, 19.8, something like that. So
For what? For 2 weeks?
for 2 weeks, yeah.
Wow.
My first 2 weeks in the big leagues. We're sitting in Cleveland, the dugout, and James Shields, the pitcher, who was our number one at the time, he sits next to me. He goes, "You got that first paycheck, didn't you?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "How was it?" "Oh, it was nice, man. It's the biggest paycheck I've had since playing baseball."
Yeah.
It was awesome. "How much was it?" I said, "Just shy of 20,000." Awkward silence. He goes, "Were you going to ask me how much I got?" I was like, "Do I want to?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I got 750 after taxes." Like, golly.
For what?
So,
For the 2 weeks?
for the 2 weeks.
Wow.
So there's some guys up there making a pretty penny, but it's a long road, and it can be a grind to get there.
That's insane. But that goes back to wanting to get a big signing bonus, because you don't know how long you're going to be in the minor leagues before you get called up. So yeah, that's a big difference. Now, what do you think it's like the biggest difference? Well, let me back it up a little bit. So when you were playing high school compared to when you in the minor leagues, where did you go first? You go rookie ball or?
I went to low-level rookie ball, the Arizona League. It's the lowest level of minor league baseball in the state side.
Right. Yeah, on the state side, yeah. So what was the big difference between high school and rookie ball?
I think the pitching velocity for me. I played really small high school baseball. Like, we had 200 kids K through 12, so we played a really small low level. It was a good level for the size, but making that jump from really small school baseball to professional baseball was just like a mountain size, Grand Canyon size gap for me. The velocity, seeing kids throwing low, upper, mid 90s. That was pretty overwhelming at first. There was a lot of growing pains.
Right. So it's obviously a big jump.
Very big jump
obviously
for me.
everybody's
And I didn't play summer baseball, so I didn't do the travel baseball. I played basketball in the summer, so that was my thing. So I didn't go out and experience the high velocity arms. I didn't get drafted that year. So all of that, the 90s, the 95s, and the triple digits, that was so brand new to me. I was so overwhelmed when my first year in pro ball.
So what was the average, like, velocity-wise in high school?
Oh, at our level is probably 80, maybe.
So
that's a guess, but I would say probably at 80, 79.
Right. And I'm assuming, like, at the rookie ball level, you still got a lot of kids that can't control, command, right?
Oh yeah, you got some flamethrowers that are 16, 17 years old, and all they know how to do is throw hard, and that's all they try to do. And yeah, it can be pretty intimidating your first go.
Overwhelming, yeah. So now, when does the pitching start to get better? Like, does it get better single A, or does it get better double A, triple A? Well, obviously triple A, but double A, is it a big difference?
Each level, I went to rookie ball 3 years. I went to Arizona League, Appalachian League, and the Pioneer League. Made my stops there. Once I went to low A is when I saw a big difference. Like, guys could pitch a little bit better, had a little more command. And from there, each level you went up, it got a little bit better. The game got a little quicker, pitchers got a little more craftier. The biggest jump for me, I noticed, was double A, triple A. When I went from double A, triple A, because a lot of the triple A arms are big league caliber arms. They know how to pitch. There's some guys who could throw hard, but a lot of guys are real crafty. They know they can read swings, they read approaches, and they learn to pitch and not necessarily throw like you see some of the younger arms.
Right. That's crazy. But so basically, from AAA to major leagues, like, what's the big difference then, pitching wise? Like, when you start facing
the stuff. You got, there's a big difference between a major league number one like Jacob deGrom, Max Scherzer, and a AAA number one, which is probably going to be a major league 5th or 6th guy.
Right.
So it's just a consistency, less opportunities to hit balls over the plate.
Right.
They exploit your weaknesses. They make you make an adjustment. Like, if you don't make an adjustment, they're just going to keep attacking you.
Right.
It's a lot more cat and mouse at that level.
Right. And who do you think was the toughest guy to face?
Jacob deGrom. There's not even question. It was like hitting a bullet, and it just kept getting faster as the ball got closer to you. You knew what he was throwing. He didn't trick you, but it was just the stuff was overwhelming. He threw me a 95-mile-per-hour slider one time, and that was pretty eye-opening. It's like, all right, I saw spin. I'm gonna let it travel. Next thing you know, I'm like late, like it's a fastball.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. So now let me ask you this. So what do you think is the big difference? Because I want viewers at home to understand this. So what do you think is the big difference between major league hitters and minor league hitters? Or actually, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but let me take a step back, farther back. So what's the difference between minor league hitters and high school hitters? What do you think will be the difference?
Probably just physical capability. Like, you got to play professional baseball, and to get an opportunity to play professional baseball, most of the time you have to meet a physical standard, whether it's you're strong, big, fast, bat speed, throw hard, lateral quickness, whatever it may be. There's a physical standard that has to be met to play at a level like that. Okay,
and what about from minor leagues to major leagues?
So that's where the physicals kind of even out, but then that's where the mental game comes into play. Who has the most confidence? Who can stay within themselves? Who can trust their approach, preparation, and just consistency? Who can show up? Who can be the most consistent? And that's the difference you see between major leaguers and minor leaguers.
Right. Yeah. I've definitely noticed that. I mean, I've never been in that world, but it's awesome to have somebody that's been through it before. Now, I know you say you play in Venezuela.
I played a winter ball in Venezuela. Yep.
How was that? So how was that compared to ball here in the States?
Man, it was probably the most fun I've had playing baseball outside of the major leagues. The major leagues, obviously, a lot of fun because of all the perks you get with it, but definitely the most fun I had any minor leagues.
But what about competition-wise? Is it anywhere close? Or?
Competition's good. I would say now how it went over there when I played early on in the season. younger kids are playing, and as the season grew longer and got closer to the playoffs, more of your high-level major league, minor league guys would start to come filter in those leagues.
Right.
So the season got tougher. The league got tougher as the season progressed. The talent's really good. There's a lot of raw talent over there. I would say it's very comparable to AA, AAA for sure.
Right. That's what I hear. And I'm asking because I'm from Venezuela, so I kind of want to hear that experience. Now, who do you think was the guy that you played with or against? Probably one of the best hitters you've ever seen in baseball.
One of the best just hitters that I've played with. I actually had a player ask me this yesterday. Was Freddie Freeman. I mean, the guy was just, he's going to show up. He's going to hit 310 for you every year. He's going to hit 30 homers. You know what you're going to get.
Right.
And to watch him just consistently do it day in, day out, with the whole other team's scouting reports, don't let this guy beat you, and he beat a lot of other teams. That was very impressive to kind of see firsthand.
That's awesome. What about somebody you played against?
Mike Trout. Mike Trout's another level. We got drafted the same year, kind of played each other in the minor leagues.
Yeah.
Played against a couple of times in the big leagues. Man, that guy's just, he's a first ballot future Hall of Famer.
Absolutely.
I want to be the best players of all time when it's all said and done.
Right. That's awesome. So let me ask you now this. So what do you think is the big difference when it comes to the lifestyle, I guess, big leagues compared to the minor leagues? So like, what do you think was the one thing that kind of shocked you? Like, man, I didn't know they even had this here. Like maybe meals or the way you travel or
Traveling's the biggest difference. And you travel pretty decently in AAA. Now you got early flights and stuff, but big leagues, you say you got a home game, and then you fly out that night to go on the road. You would bring your bag in, you hand your bag to a clubhouse manager. I don't know what they do with it. And you play your game, you shower, you get dressed, you get on a bus, hop over to the airport, get off the bus, and walk on the plane. Then they have food, they got snacks, they got whatever beverage of your choice waiting for you. Most of the people kind of know what you like.
Right.
They got hot warm towels. They got everything you could think. It's like a hotel in the air. And you land, you get to this nice. We always stay at the Ritz when we were in Atlanta. So where we travel, we stay at the Ritz. Mm-hmm. It's obviously a very nice hotel.
Right.
You get to your room, you call down to the front desk, and you tell them your number, and they bring your bag up for you. That's when you see your bag again. So you drop your bag off first thing at the ballpark. You don't see it again until you get to the hotel later that night or early the next morning.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. What about in the minor leagues? Do you have to carry your own stuff?
Oh my God, you're carrying your stuff. You're carrying some team stuff, especially at the low levels. Now you get AA, AAA, you don't have to handle bags as much, but all the way up from rookie ball to high A, you got some kind of duty, whether it's you're carrying balls, carrying the extra bats, pine tar bag, whatever, and on top of your stuff. So yeah, there's a definitely day and night difference between major league travel and minor league travel.
So you don't fly at all in the minor leagues, or just very little?
You do. We fly a couple times in AAA, which is the AAA flights are pretty terrible because I was in Omaha. You had to get the earliest flight out. So you're getting up at 3:30. Your flight's at 5:36, and then you always got a connecting flight because you're some small mid-sized city, and then you land. You probably land at the city you're playing at 1:30, be at the ballpark at 3. So those make for some very, very long days.
No, and I ask all these questions because I know a lot of people want to know this, but also because I think people think that once they become a professional player, especially in the minor leagues, they're multimillionaires. And so they have it all made, and it doesn't happen that way. In the minor leagues, you go through that grind, and you don't get paid very much. I mean, just like he's saying, you're not going to be, all this stuff is not going to be catered to you like it's going to be in the big leagues. So that's why I'm asking him all this stuff, because I think it's pretty interesting. Now, what would be one thing, let's go now, when it comes to like parents and coaches at the younger level. So what would be one advice you would give, to these parents? Because a lot of parents, they think, they do one lesson and you're going to pull a miracle, and then it's just going to happen overnight, but I feel like they're not patient enough. They just want to, they want their kid to be the next Mike Trout, but I feel like it's a process. So what would be one advice you would give them?
Just got to understand this game's hard.
Right.
From just the playing side of it, then you get to the business side of it. It's a difficult task, and just being able to handle that and know that there's going to be some low valleys and some very tall peaks.
Right.
And just trying to stay even keel and just work and prepare yourself in a way to sustain yourself at the highest highs and the lowest lows. That's kind of the one advice I would give to any hitter is expect it to be hard, and prepare the best you can to make it a little easier.
Right.
It's never going to be easy, but your preparation will go a long ways as long as it's consistent and diligent and you trust it.
Right.
That you'll give yourself the best chance to reach your potential, regardless of what level that is.
Right. And I know off cameras you talked about you really learned how to hit when. What age did you actually learn?
I was about 24 to 25 when I became less of a swinger and more of a hitter.
Right. That's a great point because a lot of people think it's just getting reps, but you have to learn how to become a hitter. And honestly, back then I wish I had the information that I know now. Just I'm sure you're somewhat the same way, and you obviously made it a lot farther than I did. But it's just I feel like it's just it's a process. So parents need to be patient. Coaches need to be patient too. Don't just try to rush it and just. A lot of kids are quitting at the age of 14, even 13. I've heard before. And I've seen it myself because I've been coaching youth baseball. And so they want to quit so early because the parents' expectations are so high, and they don't understand that, their body will mature, they'll mature physically, mentally. It's a big difference by the time they're 16 compared to when they're 21. They'll become two different players. Well, Lane, I really appreciate you for your time.